kiss hedgehog around. Got ourselves a situation, stuck in a new location without any explanation. No time for relaxation. Gotta go fast. Gotta go faster, 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 Sonic X.
Okay, now we're going into the dark side story, and this was probably by far the biggest selling point of the game when it came out, because imagine, it's 2001. Sonic's been in existence for about 10 years or so, and you've been a Sonic fan for 10 years. You played the games, you watched the shitty cartoons, you read the shitty comics, you played all the shitty spin-offs, and you've been in it on this franchise for 10 years. And suddenly Sonic Adventure 2 comes out and holy shit, you can play as Eggman? You can play as the bad guys? Whoa! Like, dude, that is significant. That was a big deal when this first came out. And they really don't, like, they deliver. They deliver on their fucking promise.
Intruder has been located in the north quadrant.
Because how does this game open up?
All units prepared.
How does this story, like, begin?
Standard battle procedures initiated.
Yeah!
Area. This is not a drill. This is not a drill.
That was all too.
Aw, dude.
Let's take a look at what my grandfather was working on. A top secret military weapon. The military shut down the research because they feared it.
It begins with the Eggman himself, Dr. Ivor Robotnik, the nemesis, the antagonist of the entire series up to this point, breaking into a military base and just laying waste to everything he comes across. That is so fucking hardcore. We are the Eggman. We're in the fucking Egg Walker, the famous Eggmobile that he flies around in, the thing that the fucking wrecking ball dropped down from on the very first boss fight of Sonic 1. Like, this is the mobile that he's flying around with in all the boss fights in all the series up to this point. And what's he done? He's stuck legs and a gun on it. And he is just going through this fucking military base. Like, you can imagine, like, this is the Pentagon or some shit. Or Rikers? Maybe not Rikers. Maybe, like, Alcatraz. Yeah, probably definitely Alcatraz. Back in the day, when it was, like in its heyday. Single-handedly wrecking everyone's shit. Like, gameplay conventions of how difficult this actually is, being the first level and all aside, it's the emotion of it is very potent. Like, you really feel like, dude, this is the fucking, like, main antagonist of the entire series, the boss that you fight at the end of every level. And now we're playing as him. And this is the kind of raw, destructive force he brings to the table. He is a one-man wrecking ball. The military of the fucking world stands no chance. Only Sonic, being the fastest thing alive, can hope to stand up against the raw, destructive fury that is the Eggman. Oh. It's okay. It's okay, camera. You're okay. That was my stick fucking up again. I swear to God, I'm not making excuses. It actually does get stuck. That's the intended, like, feeling, like, oh yeah, let's play the dark side story, we're playing as Eggman. Holy shit. Like, the atmosphere this level evokes where like you're just charging through, and this alarm is sounding off the entire time, and just all these military robots are being thrown in front of you. Like, no, do everything you can to stop them. Like, throw all these giant, like, horrible, massive, like, super secure security doors down in front of him. He is breaking through fucking everything. Look at how badass this guy is. We are the fucking Eggman. It's so fucking cool. Again, put yourself in the perspective of it's 2001. You're playing this for the first time. Yeah, I'm gonna play as the fucking Dr. Eggman. Whoa.
Now you know why I am the best.
And you go through all that. That is a fucking, like, again, in terms of what it promises, playing as the bad guy, it fucking delivered. Even off the first level there. And you can almost imagine, like, this is the equivalent of what happened off-screen in the very, very beginning of Sonic Adventure, where Eggman found out what about Chaos and was like, okay, I'm gonna get this guy on my side. He's kind of doing the same thing here, instead of it being mystical. Okay, this is a weird moment.
Enter password. Password is Maria. Maria.
That's kind of a Japaneseism.
Place the Chaos Emerald into this console.
Who says that? Ma-ri-a. No, it's M-A-R-I-A. No one who speaks English would say Maria. Like, that's a, oh, I'm gonna enter in the Japanese characters that spell the name, right? That's what that feels like to me. But instead of it being a mystical, semi-magic weapon like Chaos was, now he's finding my boy Shadow here, who is overtly technological. He's being hidden.
Are you trying to spoil my plans again?
Yeah.
Wait,
I'll talk about this, don't worry.
This is impossible.
My name is Shadow. Since you were so kind to release me, my master, I will grant you one wish.
What? What is with that?
No.
I have no idea. Oh yeah, I got rocket boots. True power. Yeah, I don't really get that. That never really... Shadow's a genie? I don't get that. You released me, now I'll grant you a wish.
This is Scorpion Trip Time.
Like, he's obviously speaking in something of a metaphor there, but...
And destroy.
That is kind of a head-scratcher the first time. We're like, what? You can grant wishes? Where does that come from? That never really gets mentioned again. Ultimate life form! Yeah. Okay, come on back. Ah, you landed. Yeah, good job, idiot. This is what you're supposed to do. Pop. Damn it! The LP curse. Instead of going after Chaos, who was overtly mystical and magical in nature, hailing from like an ancient civilization or some shit, now he's going after Shadow, although he didn't know it would be Shadow. He just thought top secret military research project. Breaking into this, like, military facility that is overtly industrial in nature. Ah, come on. Come on. Get somewhat closer, dude. There we go. Yeah, fucked you up.
Pathetic humans.
So it is funny how you kind of have that magic versus technology thing again, only this time it's Eggman going back and forth between utilizing magic or technology.
You are the military's top.
Yeah, and dude, fuck you. Shadow's awesome. Yeah,
Me a wish.
the audience also would like to know what the fuck the deal with that is.
Shadow, wait!
I'll be waiting for you in the central control room.
Look at the framing of this shot. I love this framing for some reason. The blocking is really good there. He says bring more Chaos Emeralds. It's kind of hard, like, it's easy to miss, but what Eggman needed to open up the container, I guess, that Shadow was locked in, he put the gray Chaos Emerald in there, and that opened it up, and then Shadow has that, I guess, now? But anyway, Shadow's so fucking cool, like, fuck you, okay? Shadow's still really awesome.
That makes it very powerful. What the?
Okay, again, the mixing in this game is just generally terrible, but this scene actually got fucked up by the GameCube version of this game. The Dreamcast release
So that's Dr. Eggman.
did something different. I'll edit that in so you can see the difference, but during this moment,
Not if I can help it.
that part where she screams over the Master Emerald breaking, that's a fuck up. That they fucked up during the GameCube re-release. In the Dreamcast version, she screams when it cuts back to her face, which obviously makes more sense.
Not if I can help it.
What was that all about?
Again, I like to imagine that they're on Sandopolis right now, on Angel Island.
All the world's gems are mine to keep.
Yeah, we'll see about that, Batgirl.
So I alluded to this before, but obviously when you're going to have a more expansive story focus with your series, you can't just have it be the one... You can't just have it be the one villain. Like, you can't just have it be Mario versus Bowser for the entire, like, series anymore. You need to add more to it. And then you go, okay, you can play as the bad guy team in this game. Well, you have 3 different kinds of gameplay. Are we only going to play as the Mech E102 Gamma style of gameplay? Because that's the only thing Eggman can do. You can't exactly imagine Eggman running around doing, like, action, super speed Sonic levels. You can't imagine Eggman running around doing the Knuckles treasure hunting levels. So by necessity, they came up with these 2 other characters, Shadow and Rouge, in terms of gameplay first. Like, they were invented as, okay, we need to have some justification for the player being able to play the treasure hunting and, like, super fast racing speed type of levels
Only 2 more.
during the Dark Side story. Let's make up some new bad guy characters that have that style of play to them. So they were invented in service of their function as far as gameplay was concerned first. And then the story justification of who they are and what their deal is and what they do was invented afterwards. Like, they didn't write Sonic Adventure 2 and go, okay, we need to have a character who is a hedgehog like Sonic and he's the ultimate life force. No, they said, okay, we need to have... Seriously? Like, that's what I'm talking about. That's so dumb. Like, right here. But we didn't get it until the very last because of the way they changed the gameplay. I don't... Why? Why did they change it from the way it was in Sonic Adventure? I will not understand that. They said, oh, we need to have a character that is is kind of a hedgehog-y that you can run around with like Sonic during the Dark Side story mode too. And then they wrote what he did in the story afterwards. I feel like the idea of, okay, let's have them play as the bad guy this time, let's have them play as Dr. Eggman at last, came up with first.
Find my hidden base inside this pyramid.
And then they realized, oh wait, we can't just have you play as no one but Eggman. We need to have other characters in there too. So they invented Rouge and Shadow. So, like, I don't know, keep that in mind. I guess I feel like that's something that should be taken into consideration when looking at the Dark Side story, is they just kind of made up Shadow and Rouge so that you're not just playing as Eggman for the entirety of the Dark Side story. Because I do feel like you actually do play as Eggman way more than either of the other characters in the Dark Side story. Just like like most of the levels in the Hero Side story are Sonic levels. So who's the opposite of Sonic? Eggman. He's the primary bad guy of the entire series. And he's the character that has been in existence in the entire series. Like, Sonic's 26 years old, Eggman's 26 years old, right? So it does make sense that Eggman, being the leader of the Dark Side story, being the primary antagonist of the series, you would play as him the most often. I mean, no one bought this game going, yeah, I can't wait to play as Shadow, this brand new character that was invented for this game that I've never heard of before. They bought it going, yeah, dude, you can finally play as Eggman? Holy shit! I can't wait to be evil and take over the world as Eggman. Woo! So it makes sense why you play as Eggman kind of the most in the Dark Side story. Even though in retrospect, 10 years, like 16 years later, looking back on this game, you go, man, these Eggman levels are kind of tedious. I would rather be playing as Shadow right now. Obviously, that's what we say now. But again, you need to put yourself in the perspective of what it was like at the time. At the time, playing as Eggman was the allure. People wanted to play as Eggman. They didn't know or give a shit, really, who the fuck Shadow or Rouge were. And it's funny to think of that now, but again, at the time, that was the case of it. Although, again, that was just the initial impression, like, I'm gonna go buy this game. After this game came out, Shadow kind of exploded in terms of popularity. Because of course he would. Shadow, like immediately blew up as this massive, popular, fan favorite character. Because of course he would. Fucking look at him. He's an evil Sonic. He's the Virgil. He's Sonic. He is the Virgil to Sonic's Dante. It's fucking awesome. Of course an evil Sonic is kind of immediately going to kick off and become popular. And he says, I need to point this out by the way, at the beginning of the level, he said, those idiots will never find my secret base hidden inside this pyramid. Well then why are there gun robots everywhere? Because they are looking for the secret base in the pyramid and can't find it. Eggman is a wanted terrorist, supervillain mastermind who is probably like the most wanted person on the face of the planet. Like, he's a criminal who routinely tries to destroy and take over the world. Gun is looking for him. So of course they're here in Egypt looking for his secret base. So they are outside of his secret base because he's got his face fucking splattered on fucking everything. Of course they're like, okay, it's probably around here. Start looking for it.
Now you know why
And Eggman's gotta clean up on his way home, right? Whenever he comes home, he's got to fucking clean up the weeds. But they didn't get in, they didn't find it, they didn't make it inside.
Space Colony Ark. I've got to find out just what's going on up there.
You know, all the cartoons usually give Eggman a couple of robot sidekick minions. I can see why they do that, because just having it beat Eggman alone like this... I scratched my bum. It is kind of lonely feeling. It does feel like you need to have some incompetent minions for him to bounce off of, you know?
According to eyewitnesses at the scene, the suspect was identified as the world-renowned hero, Sonic the Hedgehog. The suspect was seen fleeing the scene, destroying the reserve's guard robots in his path. Stay tuned for more details.
Like the work of Shadow.
So, there's why Sonic was arrested at the beginning of the Hero Side story. Shadow robbed the bank, probably killed a couple people, wrecked through gun military robots, collateral damage, causing property damage, stole a Chaos Emerald, and Sonic gets blamed for it. Kill them all, Shadow.
Do it for me. For all the people on the planet.
Kill them all, Shadow. Kill them all.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
I still remember what I promised you. For the people of this planet, I promise you revenge.
So there's Shadow's motivation. He's helping out Eggman. Okay, I'll finish my other thought first. People talk shit about this, where they're like, how does anyone mistake Shadow for Sonic? How does anyone look at Shadow and go, oh, it's Sonic? That's because you're a fucking idiot. That's why. Because you, the audience, know who Shadow is. We have been introduced to him. We know, oh, that's Shadow. The rest of the world doesn't know who Shadow is. It's nighttime, it's very dark. Look at something that's dark blue, like Sonic is, at nighttime, and see if it doesn't look black to you. So, you hear, oh, this hedgehog stole a Chaos Emerald from the bank. And he was super, super fast. How many super fast hedgehogs that are obsessed with collecting the Chaos Emeralds do you think there are? If it looks like a duck, smells like a duck, quacks like a duck, you're gonna assume it's a fucking duck. You hear, it was a hedgehog, he was super, super, super fast, he stole a Chaos Emerald, and it's nighttime, so his coloration was very, very dark blue or black. You're gonna assume it's Sonic. Of course you're going to assume it's Sonic. What do you think they're going to say? Do you think they're gonna say, oh shit, a super fast, dark-colored hedgehog just stole a Chaos Emerald? I bet it's this completely unknown character that none of us have ever heard of and has been locked away in stasis in a secret military base for 50 years, and none of us have ever heard of or seen him before. This is his grand unveiling onto the world. I bet it's this weird unknown dude that none of us have heard. You're not going to assume, instead of saying, oh, it's probably Sonic, you're not going to assume instead that it's this completely different person you have no reason to assume even exists at all. This is what I believe I've made my point. Of course people are going to assume it's fucking Sonic. Don't be an idiot. You'd be an idiot. People would look at you like you're fucking crazy if you said it wasn't Sonic, in fact. Tails goes, that couldn't be Sonic, fuck you. People went, who the fuck else would it be? Well, I don't know, but I know it wasn't Sonic. You're an idiot, Tails. Like, come on. Like, people raise this plot point of people mistaking Shadow for Sonic as a negative against the game. Shocking, I know. When, once again, guess what? It's not the game. You're just stupid. I'm sensing a running theme here. Hey, look, it's Knights. There's that hotel! Oh my god, remember the billboard for their hotel back in City Escape? There it is! There's the Knights Hotel! Aw, dude, I would love to stay there! That'd be so fucking cool! Let's get a 3-night reservation at the Knights Hotel. That would be fucking fantastic. I would adore that. Oh, I love you, Knights. Make another Knights game! Man, Sega has so many fucking intellectual properties that they have just done nothing with for so long. It's super annoying. Here we go! That's another reason I love Shadow. Like, he's one of those characters who's all brooding and edgy, and he's like, yeah, I'm so cool and stoic.
Too easy for me.
But then he says stuff like that. He says stuff like, I'm the coolest. Like, Shadow, you're such a fucking dork. Like, he's a character who, like, he thinks he's so cool, but he's, like, acting in a way that he thinks this is how cool people act, right? Okay, so I've already talked about this scene in terms of the Chaos Control and having that discussion. Let's now talk about, yo, Shadow's a sick-as-fuck character. Like, I don't care what you say. Shadow's still fucking so cool. Again, imagine it's 2001. You're popping this in. Holy shit, an evil hedgehog? Like an evil Shadow? It's an evil Sonic? Who doesn't love that? Who doesn't love I'm the evil version of the main character? Think about any franchise. The Psycho Rangers, Wario, Virgil, Starwolf, the I am like you, but evil and cool is such ultimate life form. Time for game. Farewell. And then we don't see what happened here because Shadow wasn't there. Like, the evil rival version of the hero is always an amazing character. Like, fuck you. Who the fuck do you think you are talking shit about Shadow? That's all I'm saying.
Eggman's base, and we'll proceed to enter it now. I hate to say it. I guess I'm going to have to find that key first.
So this is the same level as what Knuckles played before, but it's slightly different because Eggman's security is on patrol. He has this cool robot Scarab Beetle patrolling the entire level, and when it comes into the room, you gotta either get out of its line of sight or hide in one of these shadow areas. And if you're in a shadow area, it won't see you. And this, I think, is a little bit of insight into what Amy's gameplay might have been like before it got cut at the conceptual phase. I feel like they took certain ideas of how her gameplay was going to work and rolled it into Rouge's gameplay here for this level, giving her a slightly, somewhat stealth-oriented. So yeah, she can dig with her fucking feet, like a weird freak of nature. Like Knuckles has his, digger claws, she digs with her feet. Rouge is an interesting chick. She digs into the earth. Actually, it's more like she drills in. Yeah, I can respect that. Hers is the drill that will pierce the heavens. Where is it? What? I mean, she is kind of the only other female character, like, in the franchise up to this point. I guess that makes a certain degree of sense, where they're like, okay, Amy's not playable in this game. Give a little inkling of what we had in mind for her character to the other girl character that you will be playing. That's just my assumption, of course. And again, we are in Eggman's base, so we're fighting badniks. No gun robots to be seen. It's all badniks who have... Yeah, see, we're hiding in the shadows here to see us. Who have little robots inside of them. Because the gun military couldn't find their way into the base. But Rouge did. Oh, god damn it! And what I think's interesting here is, like, you're... I guess I'm not really spoiling anything by saying, like, yeah, Rouge is a double agent of sorts. I mean, she was obviously talking on the intercom to someone. And in the hero storyline, when Sonic and Tails were fucking around with the president, they were like, "Sir, we're getting a report from our agent." That agent was Rouge. Rouge is like a double agent who's... Well, we already know from the hero storyline that she, like, joins up with Eggman. Who's, like, working with Eggman in order to, like, work against him. But for what reason? What is she trying to find out? What's her true goal? I feel like obviously her true goal is to get some jewels. Fucking pay me. I want me some gems. I want me some gemeralds. Rouge is a great character. It's always great to have a character who's like a little bit more morally ambiguous. Those are always the best characters. Characters who aren't... They're not good guys. Like Sonic. Like, he might not exactly be on the side of the... He's not lawful good. He's definitely chaotic good, but he's still a good guy. But then you have characters like Eggman or Shadow, who are explicitly evil. Eggman's goal is to take over the world. And Shadow's goal is to get revenge on the world and just cause mass death and destruction. Look up there, there's Big. I think Big is in every single level. I think in the Dreamcast version, he was in every level. In the GameCube version, I don't know if he's still in every level, or if they just moved him around, but he is supposed to be in every single level. And in this one, he's up there dangling from that feather. Shadow, in this game at least, is explicitly a bad guy who wants to cause genocide and destruction, because I'm getting revenge for Maria. We don't really know the story behind what that means yet, but from that flashback, like, that's his motivation that we saw in his level there. Where the fuck is it? Oh, it's probably buried. Somewhere? Up here? Fuck? In here?
I can't.
Where the hell is it? I'm apparently right on top of it. There we go. Jesus Christ, that was weird. But then Rouge is pretty ambiguous. She's not a good guy for sure. She's working for the government for her own selfish reasons. But she's not a bad guy either. She's not helping Eggman. She's like... She is working with him, but it's for her own end. She's very morally ambiguous, and it's always really cool to have a character like that. It's always really cool to have a character who doesn't really fit into the good versus evil dichotomy.
It's a space transporter.
Rouge really is kind of working for her own interests.
Wasn't that space
kind of playing both sides just to get what she wants.
What's he doing up there anyway?
Doesn't matter.
It's my mission to find out what he's up to.
Like, Rouge, like, I was gonna say, it's a shame Rouge doesn't get more acclaim, but that's not true. She does get plenty of acclaim because of those massive tits.